Yeah, I cut myself off a bit quick in that cafe. I should have had a look at the fishing pictures. There's pictures all over the walls of the giant fish I've caught in here. They look like they were heavily pregnant, some of them. I hope they get put back in. What do they call that? Is it coarse fishing when you put them back? And it's something else when you take them home and eat them. They weren't like a giant goldfish about that long. It was that big. So you'll have to come here, the cafe, smell of fried chips, like, not oven chips, no, fatty chips. But you know, if you need warming up and you've been on the A59, just call in here. Nice view. Picture's not I'd have a picnic area. Could put loads of tables down there near the trees. I mentioned my idea to her about the boats, and she just gave me a funny look. They sound like they're from Liverpool. And she didn't. I told the lad, and I think that's his mum who was serving the grub. I said, yeah, I go to Southport a lot near the boating lake because there's a bite meet there, and I said, you'll make a lot of money if you had motorboats here. And she just looked at her son. What's this balmy bugger on about? Yeah, get some families here. Little chairs and tables with a wait for service. You know, serving chips and burgers down there amongst the trees. Get crapped on by birds nesting in them. I don't know. Yeah, if you're into fishing, you probably know about this place already. I don't know what it's called. She actually answered the telephone and said something or other fisheries. Key's still there. Oh yeah, I've got my house keys in my high-vis jacket. I'm gonna lose them. The reason not in my jeans pocket is the jeans are hanging off me now. My diet seems to be working. Size 42 waist jeans and they're just baggy. So I tried some old size 40 jeans on. They just about fit, but they're a bit tight. I've been wearing them for work. That's my New Year resolution. I must lose a bit more weight. Ideally get down to 38. I've got some Levi's 501s from years ago, size 38, and there's no way I can fit in them. But I'm determined to get down to a 38. Although, keep stuffing biscuits down doesn't help, does it? Not to 60 in about 2 seconds. Down-tuned Fireblade engine. I wonder what a fully tuned normal Fireblade engine is doing this. That's why I said before, I wonder why they didn't continue with the Hornet style but just put a CB 1300 engine in it. Imagine a CB 1300 Hornet, it'd be great, wouldn't it? It'd be nice to have a proper big bike again. I suppose this is a big bike, isn't it, compared to what you can get, but when I was 1300 it felt like you were riding a proper big lump. The weight just disappears when you're underway, you know, you can't feel the weight of these big bikes, although even that's a little bike compared to some of the big cruisers. What steady cruisers I forgot, is it a 13 or an 1800? I know it's an 1800 called Dragstar, is it? Kawasaki did the VN 2 litre. And then of course, dwarfing everything else is the Triumph Rocket 3. Be careful someone doesn't pull out here. Still on the horn ready. It has a power band this. Just open the throttle wide and suddenly it kicks in. You know, when you get to 7,000 revs and takes off. I must attempt a wheelie someday. You want to see me try and do a wheelie sometime, let me know. someone challenged, what's his name, that Australian, a rider's life, so he did one, but no, his was a little bit battered. He sold it now. Imagine selling your Hornet, keeping a little crappy trials bike, just to do wheelies on because it was light. He stopped speaking to me when I suggested he owns a biker cafe. Because he was working as some kind of paramedic and he wasn't happy or depressed for some reason. And I said, open a biker cafe like the Ace Cafe in London. Loads of bikers in Australia make a fortune, just get a business loan. That's something I'd like to do. There was a premises on the A59 down there, empty for ages. I think it used to be a little chef, a big white building. Ideal for a biker cafe like the Ace, but you do get lots of bikes on that stretch of road, being the A59. But would you make enough money from burgers and chips and pies to, you know what I mean, to pay the rent and make a profit? I wouldn't just have a cafe, I'd be selling all sorts of stuff, gizmos and clothing, you know, in parts of the building. And oil. I don't know, I have all these ideas. Look at that, you know, with that, it was a sleek car, wasn't it? No date's shown on there, it's an old coaching it now, looking at photographs on a Facebook site. Great all past and present. You know. And it's shown that place in 1890. With a chap in a cloth cap who was the landlord. Stood in the doorway. Totally different. On the outside, I think these days actually faked. The timbers, you know, to make it look old, catching on the nostalgia boom. Let's get home. Should I continue to Accrington? There's nothing I need anywhere, any shops. What are you doing, Albert? You see, I accelerated fast then. There's no way this bike will do a wheelie just off the throttle. You'll have to dump the clutch, which risks stretching a bloody chain. You know, I never had a bike, even my 1300. No, certain race bikes are so highly tuned you can just twist the throttle and be up on the back wheel easily. And that's what I want, but like I said, none of my bikes will do that. I told the mate, yeah, because they're fucking Hondas, that's why they're gutless. It's an easy day. I bet you could do it on a Super Blackbird or the proper Fireblade. Do any of your bikes, can you do that? Just open the throttle and you're on the back wheel doing a wheelie. Oh, marvellous. This is a bloody bus route for some peculiar reason. How's going to get past there? Look at that. There's no other way for the bus. Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, why come down here? It's just for the residents here. And they say the bus can come up that road there where it heads to Accrington, where Aldi is. Why have a bus route down here? It's just a pain in the ass. Well, like I said, it's because of these terraced houses here. All these houses were down here as well when I was younger, a shop on the corner, and now it's a Tesco. And they all got demolished because they found that underneath was where the old mine shaft, mine workings was. And it turned out to be a load of bollocks because they built that there, they built Tesco there. So we might have got the calculations wrong. It's alright, Albert, I've seen you. Gladys, give way to the right, Gladys. Oh, that's an idea. I deleted the last one I did like this. because it was boring. What do you mean this is boring too? No, but I stopped at an old lintel, as I'm talking about historical things. How are you doing, Gladys? Hell's Angel. Yeah, it's an old lintel from a school, 1634, and they've sort of preserved it and built it into a wall. So I'll end this little vlog on that note, I think, an old lintel. Are you coming or going? New Year's Eve party with fireworks, yeah. Like I said, I was back home for 5 to 12, I just felt horrible. I felt awful. That fellow there owns that little boy, he's got a Ducati, and I tried to chat to him about my bike and he just weren't interested. A miserable old fight. You know, all bikers are meant to be mates, aren't they? There we are, there used to be some village stocks here as well. You probably can't see that. 1634, this lintel was over the doorway of the town's first day school, sited 130 yards west of this plaque. 1634. I don't. And it says E 1634I MI. Can't read that. 1634, that predates the plague, Great Fire of London 1666. I like the way they did the 60s, a bit spooky, isn't it? Seeing as I was watching Omen 2 the other night. It's the best scene in that. When he's in school and the schoolmaster says, "Oh, you're not listening, are you, Thorne? You know all about Napoleon. Some things say yes. Right." And you prattle off all these days for about 2 minutes. Yes, Napoleon marched, lost 650,000 men. He was exiled on Elba, blah blah blah. Let's stick with dates, Thorne. Death of Napoleon. And he goes on and gets everything bang on. Because he knows everything, as he's the Antichrist. Yeah, the rest of the film was shit. It was crap. First one was a bit spooky, but the second one was just rubbish. I mean, that woman, did you watch it? You know what I'm on about? That woman that had her eyes pecked out with a... ooh, like that, not a pigeon, a crow. And she was... a car conked out, that's meant to be something spooky. But if some evil force can knock a car out, she got out of the car and this giant crow was sat waiting, and it jumped on her head and pecked her eyes out, and then she got run over by a big truck. If a crow was attacking you, you just wring the fucker's neck, grab hold of its feet and just crack it up on you. Yeah, come here, fucker. Come on, have a do. I'll break your neck. Oh, I took it some bread if I had some. Are you hungry? You calling hungry? Anyway, on that note, yeah, Omen 2, a load of bollocks. I'll turn back round and then go home, I think. Wellington, I didn't go in there New Year. I went in at Christmas. Did I? Was it one day? Oh no, that piss up I had when I was ill. That's right, 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas I went out, did I mention it before? To see if anywhere that had bands on. And it ended up into a pub crawl, and I got home at 1:45, puked up in the kitchen sink. Fell asleep in front of the fire, my takeaway was still on the table untouched. And I just felt awful and vowed never to drink again. And I haven't done really. Yeah, but like I said, a bit of a strange experience staying on Coca-Cola around the pubs. Everyone else is pissed, and you're there sober. You felt like the odd man out. No escape from reality. Open your eyes. That chap's still there. If he's not busy, I could have a natter. So this is my bike, Albert. You got your Ducati? I'll ask him if he's still there. Not there, is he? On double yellows here, but not exactly obstructing traffic. Is he going to come out? He has a picture inside on his Ducati. And like I said, I think I went in last Christmas. Oh, you sure about? Yeah, I've always been into bikes. Oh, I've got a Honda Hornet. Oh, what? I said a Hornet 900. Oh. And I said I film little motorbike things. You might want to watch it. And he just went, Why did he toot? Because I'm on double yellows. Not exactly obstructing traffic. Church Street Tavern. Went in there for a Coca-Cola. New Year's Eve. I'll go around the park here and finish it. It's a bumpy road. This is an ancient church, although most of them are ancient, aren't they? From about 1200 and some at this. And on that Facebook site, Great Harwood Past and Present, it shows it when the graveyard was intact with all the ancient gravestones, 1600 and something. And they just wrecked them all, they dug them all up. Stupid mutts. Some mutts don't like bikes, do they? I'm afraid I'm not a dog lover. Little dogs I can tolerate, like little Jack Russells, and a mate had a pug. Although it died of a heart attack because they can hardly breathe. I said, is that something to do with it dying? And he was depressed about his little doggy dying, very upset. So he wasn't willing to talk about it. I'd rather not talk about it, mate. I said, oh, sorry. I went to his house and I was playing with it, little cutie. Playing with its little doggy toys, but it was struggling to breathe because, you know, they have squash noses, don't they? Yeah, so this is a War Memorial Park. The famous sloping football pitch has been sloping ever since we used to come with a junior school playing football. It was sloping then, you think. They'd rectify it, wouldn't you? Right, Gladys, don't thank me. Let's have a look. Oh, they're mole hills, only not crap hills. Anyway, dog walkers up to pick the shite up. There's bins there, see, but kids play on that. They shouldn't even consider walking dogs. Imagine kicking a football about and sliding on the floor and getting a face full of dog shit. Oh, little lad kicking a football. Oh, clamped. Why is that clamped? Not paid his tax. Yeah, some relatively modern gravestones still there, but all the interesting ancient ones are dug up and smashed up. What a shame. And then I've got an old map at home. My mum lent me a book all about old Great Harwood. There's a map showing the town when it was just this church. This was a higher town, and then the lower town was just a main street with a stream running down the middle. I mean, stuff like that won't interest people, but when it's your own town, you know, it's quite interesting. Why would you build a bloody church on top of a big hill, though? Just so your parishioners have to make an effort to get there. Higher town and lower town. Oh, Christmas lights are still on. So there we are, that's my hometown. Mentioned in the Domesday Book, it was called Much Harewood then, because it was just a big woodland, a massive forest, with lots of hares living in it, you know, giant rabbits. Harewood. Not a bad little town, not no record of burglaries and things. It's got a quite good record for things like that. A few druggy arseholes up and down, but nothing to concern me. Only thing I've ever tried is a bit of wacky-backy on a bike rally, and it just did nothing at all. I thought, what's I meant to do? You're not taking it back? Of course I haven't. I don't know why it's illegal. No effect whatsoever. Right, on that note, goodbye.